This video is not going to be like a test of the actual lights itself yet. I'm going to wait until I get somewhere like really rural and with no light pollution, maybe like a forest in Michigan or somewhere in rural Ohio, before I test out the lights. So this is more just for like how the lights are set up and how everything's set up through my Switch Pro right now. So what I have here are two pairs of Baja Squadron Pros. These are the driving combo light combinations. And I've got one amber, and these are the Pros, as I said. I've got rock guards on right now, so they're a little bit condensation, have got some condensation and fog on them. So maybe, through some time, I'll have to clean them out a little bit. But for right now, that's how they look. Let's see from a little bit back here. I really like how they kind of integrates nicely with the GX460. The reason why they are elevated is because I put these BAM mounts, so they're called Badass Mounts, and they're from a special company. When I called Baja to see, hey, do you have any mounts that pivot? And they said, we don't, but there's this company called Badass Mounts. So basically, as you can see, BAM, Badass Mounts, Baja Designs. All you do is you pull, and then you twist, and there are little grooves or indentations within, so it sets. It locks in to a particular position. Sorry, a little bit hard to do with one hand. So let's say, I'm driving and I want, maybe like the forest or something like that to be covered in amber. If there's a lot of dust or fog or something like that. So that's why I put the ambers as the ones that are angled. But I think ideally you could actually swap both of these out and they would still work fine. Ideally, you would want the ambers to be lower, like maybe at the bottom of the bumper or where the fog lights are, because I think that's where it gets the best penetration. The positioning here isn't the most scientifically sound, but because I have this Nytop bumper, it has proprietary rails and these mounts. So that's why I wanted to maximize the use of the bumper. This had been a work in progress for about a year and a half or so, because I got the bumper in January 2024. Right now it's May 2025. So it's been a while. Because getting the lights were about, $1,000, and then the rails and the Switch Pro and everything, that was another $1,000. So $2,300 just in parts, excluding the bumper. The bumper itself, I think, was close to $1,000. So I don't remember actually. It was some time ago that I ordered it. What were some complications? So I had this set up by my friends here in Blue Ash, Ohio, called Fyne Tuned Audio, and they worked the whole day. I dropped it off on a Friday. They worked the whole day to orient this and make it all work together seamlessly, because there were a lot of incompatible parts and proprietary things that did not talk to each other, if that makes sense. So the Switch Pro is actually, if you can see it, the Switch Pro is mounted back here. And the problem is that I got a special mount for the Switch Pro, but the air compressor was in the way. So they had to actually move the air compressor, mount it somewhere else, and then put the Switch Pro where the mount was supposed to go. So they were able to use the mount that I bought for it, but they had to reorganize this a bit. So that was a bit of a complication. Another issue was that since these Nytop Rails are proprietary to Nytop, and these Badass Mounts have a special design, a special mount design, it was very complicated. So my friends at Fine Tuned, he sent some of his friends, coworkers, to go to some hardware stores to find some mounts or something that they could help make this compatible. So what they ended up doing was they made this light mount. Actually, they used a laser design tool and they cut something to make this all work together and work together nicely. And I think that's why, obviously, I have the staggered look, and I think it works out well. I think it looks good. It looks very clean. It was just a bit of a challenge for them. So really, like, I mean, shout out to my friend Nick. He really did an amazing job just finding an ingenious solution to make everything work together. Because the problem is when you get a lot of parts that are, I guess my car is more of a Frankenstein build in terms of the fact that I've got so many different parts from so many different brands that not everything talks to each other when you try to connect things. Like, for example, I've got a radiator guard from Nytop, but the rest of the skid plates underneath the car are from Talon 4x4, I believe. So they're not always compatible with each other, right? So there's a lot of issues that come with that. What I had my friend do is I already had the air compressor installed. I already had a GMRS radio installed as well. So I wanted Nick to add the Switch Pro and basically just connect everything to this. So it's the 8 Switch Pro. So it's all connected to the battery here. You've got your ARB fuses. You've got the lights here. And I'll show you on the inside how everything is connected to the Switch Pro. But, you know, honestly, very clean install up here. I mean, you can barely tell anything is in here. But yeah, let's go on the inside. I'll show you how it looks. Hopping inside, let me turn on the car. And we can see. Okay, so I've got it set to the red lights right now. And right now I've got air compressor, intercom, which is technically the GMRS radio. So there was a little sticker for a radio, but he put intercom instead. That's fine, no big deal. You got the amber lights, you got the front lights, and then this in case I need to add some rear lights whenever I get a new bumper. And this part right here replaces the existing sunglass holder. So this is a cool little part. 119 bucks, but it feels nice. Actually, this part was cheaper, I mean, more expensive than the mount for the Switch Pro in the engine of the same company. But I don't know if you can hear this. Obviously, the air pump is not gonna, you know, turn on fully right now because nothing's plugged into it. So it's got like a safety switch, but that's the air. That's the intercom. So let's take a look at the radio. So if I turn that on, so you can see that's on and that's on too. Turn it off. Let's see, turn it if. There we go. So it turns off. So he was able to wire that. Originally this was wired into the cigarette outlet, but now it's, I'm not actually sure where it's wired now. Now let's take a look at the lights. So let me turn on the amber lights and the white lights, and we'll see how it looks. Baja Squadron Pros, they're very bright. Right now it's, you know, still got some daylight left. So this is with all the lights on. You've got your silly little Raptor lights. You've got the, you know, daytime running lights. You've got the Lexus lights. What's cool, like I said, is that you can pivot these. So, you know, I think that's cool. That, you know, if it was dusty and it was a forest, this would be a cool way to just project the light in a different direction. And I like how easy it is to pivot, because they don't make pivots like that are just easy like that, you know? Let me show you how it looks with just the ambers. I've got the app, so let me pull that up in just a sec. On my app here, I've got amber. Let's turn those off. You can see it's just the white lights. Turn the white lights off. Turn the ambers on. And then let's see how it looks without the headlights on my car. So let me turn off the headlights. I have the headlights turned off and the DRLs off. So just the ambers. Just the white lights. And here's both. They're very bright, very effective. I just think it looks cool. The app is a little bit slow. I think I can make it strobe or something like that. But let's turn off. Okay, there we go. So we got everything off. See, I don't know. Oh, I think I've got it on strobe or something. Okay. Maybe let's go inside and see. I wonder what's in there. Okay, I think it's off now. The app is a little bit buggy, but everything works cleanly. The battery, you know, operates with it fine. Let's see if I turn on the air for a second. Well, there's nothing plugged in, so I can't really turn on the air compressor right now. But yeah, everything works. I'm just really happy with how it's integrated. Yeah, that's how everything turned out, and I'm really happy with it so far. I really like this little switch control, how it's so integrated neatly. Kind of reminds me of how I had the Forerunner and all the buttons up here. So it looks kind of cool, high tech. And I'm excited to go try out these lights in some place that's very rural, where I don't really have any light pollution from anywhere. So I'm excited to try that out. But yeah, just keep in mind, if you get a lot of parts that are very incompatible with each other, whoever's installing your parts may have some issues with it. So just keep in mind and give them some courtesy and make sure they feel respected that they did such an excellent job. I'm going to bring some sweets, some Middle Eastern sweets to my friend's shop as soon as I can. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being on a journey on my build. This is an ever evolving car. So thank you very much for being a part of it.